onigiri, you're going to use some short grain Japanese sushi rice. Rinse that pretty well. Pour in some cold water, and the ratio is about 1 to 1.2. We're just going to let that soak for about 20-30 minutes before we start cooking it. Our rice just finished cooking. Looks good. Fluff it up a little bit here. Unplug this. I don't want it to dry out, so I'm going to put the cover back on. And we'll just set that aside to let it cool down so we can handle it. Onigiri is like a rice ball. Stuff it so many different ways. What we're doing today is some salmon roe. So we have a piece of nori here. I just put it over a little bit of heat to get it crispy. I'm going to cut it into quarters because I have about 4 balls worth of rice there. I'm going to wet my hands, make it less sticky. I'm going to take rice here and just kind of push it together a little bit. And they sell molds for these. The classic shape is a rounded triangle. I'm going to put a little bit of my salmon roe there and try to roll it up so that salmon roe is in the center. And once we have our shape, we're going to go and put some furikake to go around the outside and put a nori wrap. And in theory, that's like an onigiri. That looks pretty atrocious. I'm going to try to do better this time. That looks pretty good. It looks like a disaster, but I'm sure it's going to taste great. Deconstructed.
Okay, so we're going to start on our Japanese curry. We're going to start by chopping up some veg, chopping some onion. I have some oil heating up in a pan. We're going to cut up these carrots to about half an inch. Potato. We'll also add this little baby sweet potato from the garden. It's a Japanese sweet potato. I think will be fun for color. Japanese curry tends to be a bit sweeter than other curries. It's not super spicy, but aromatic. We'll also mince up about 4 cloves of garlic. That is our vegetables. The oil is nice and hot now, so we'll move on over to the oil and start dropping veggies. We'll cook our onions for about a minute, then we'll add the rest of the vegetables. We'll add our garlic, carrots, then our potatoes. And we'll cook these guys for a couple of minutes and then add our water. And we'll season with a little bit of salt and pepper. We will add about 2 cups of water and let this come to a boil for about 10 minutes, covered. And while it does that, we'll make our sauce. For our sauce, we'll need some flour, a curry powder or your cubes, that would be that. We have some turmeric, coriander, cumin, fenugreek, black pepper, cinnamon, etc. in it. We'll add some applesauce, soy sauce or tamarind sauce, and a cup of water. We'll mix our ingredients together, and once it has been 10 minutes of the vegetables boiling, we'll add our sauce mix. Pretty good consistency. I'm gonna taste. Fantastic. Our veggies, they're looking nice. So now is a good time to introduce our sauce. We'll bring this to a gentle simmer and let it simmer for about 20-ish minutes till the liquid has reduced to a consistency you like and the vegetables are nice and cooked. We're letting it simmer uncooked. Did a little taste test. The flavors are nice and melted together. Our veggies are nice and cooked but still have a texture. This is all set. It'll be great with our udon noodles.
We got some water here and we're going to put in our salt. Whisk our salt into the water. I get our water in with our flour and knead that together. We want to make sure that it's nice and spread out around the flour there. So a little bit more. And the rest of our salt water. There's not a ton of water in this. It's not going to be a super moist, wet, light dough. You should expect it to be pretty dense. keep kneading until all the flour and the moisture in it is evenly spread around. We're gonna put this to relax, and we're gonna put it inside of a plastic bag. Seal this almost all, just leave a small gap. It's been 30 minutes and our dough has rested a little bit. So what we're gonna do, flatten it down inside of this bag. It's a very tough dough and it requires a lot of pressure. It's all pressed down nice and flat. And we're gonna take our dough out and we're just gonna fold it in. We're gonna roll it back into a ball, put it back inside of our plastic bag, and we're gonna repeat that. And we're gonna do it 4 more times. Flatten and fold. It is no longer relaxed at all. You can also use a rolling pin. Mahalate's just offered to sit on it. Back into a ball. Let's try stepping on this. Going off camera, step on our dough. This is what stepping on it with our heels accomplished. We've stepped on that dough real nice and goodly. And one more time, wrap it into a ball. And we're gonna leave to rest in the bag, sealed for 2 to 3 hours before we roll it out. We're gonna dust our work surface with either potato or cornstarch works. And we're gonna get our dough out, press that down, and start rolling it out. And we wanna get it rolled out so it's about 3/16 of an inch tall. Dough is all rolled out, fold, make it easier to cut. I'll take a nice sharp knife, and that same thickness of it, we want to try to make each width as well. Get those nice and aired out, toss them together so that the starch moves around and coats all sides. Have some water that's heating. It is unsalted water, so as soon as that water gets to temperature and starts boiling, we'll start cooking some noodles. These noodles are going to cook in there for about 8 minutes. When our noodles are done, put those out, and we're going to put them into some cold water to stop the cooking process. And then we're going to drain the cold water so that the noodles can dry out a little bit.
Good flavored noodles.
We're going to do some chicken katsu. We got our chicken and we're going to place it in between some plastic wrap on this cutting board. This chicken is going to pound it. Flip it over. Chicken's all pounded. Open it up, and I'm going to apply my salt and pepper right to the chicken before we go through the dredging process. Let's massage that salt and pepper into the chicken. Now we've got our seasoned chicken pounded out. First put that into the flour to coat the chicken, and then that goes into the egg wash, and that goes into the panko breadcrumbs for a nice crispy, delicious crust. And that is going to get fried in a shallow fry in oil. It's time to fry some chicken. That should go for 5 to 7 minutes on each side until it's nice and crusty and golden brown. Oh yeah. First piece of chicken here I think is probably done. Total of about 12 minutes in the oil. And that's how you serve it up. We've got our chicken katsu with curry and udon noodles.
Itakimasu.
For our gyoza, flour, a pinch of salt, and we want really hot water. Mix that water in with the flour. Don't use your hand because the water is boiling. Now that our boiling hot water is incorporated into our flour, I'm gonna get in there with my hands. Start working it into a dough. Alright, I'm going to transfer it out of this bowl and work it on the surface. Cut into 2 pieces. We're going to roll each of these pieces into a log and wrap it in some plastic wrap. They don't need to rest long. This is mostly just so that the dough relax because we're going to chop it into pieces from here. It's time to start turning this into gyoza wrappers. Chopping this up. They'll each roll out into about a 3-inch wrapper. Flour dust my surface. So gonna roll that out. Try to get it circular. And once those wrappers are as thin as you can get them, put them on your plate and just keep moving. Cover these with towel. We are doing a pork and cabbage fill, and instead of using Napa cabbage, we are going to be using, I don't even know what kind of cabbage it is, but we're going to start off by chopping that real fine. We'll put that in a bowl, and we're going to put some salt on it so it sweats a little bit. Get the salt in there. We're going to put some scallions. Scallions can go in. Our ground pork can go in. We'll grate some ginger, grate some garlic. We'll add some pepper, add that cabbage, and mix to combine. Now before we finish mixing that together, we're going to add just a little bit of sake, a little bit of sesame oil, and a little bit of soy sauce. Just let this marinate and meld together for about 10 to 15 minutes. Now time to stuff and fold for each one. Grab a spoonful of your mix. You're then going to take some water and just go around the edge of the wrapper, and the water will help it to seal. Then you will fold it over and begin crimping. Well, one side is flat, one side should be crimped, and this is going to give it the iconic kind of pocket look. And you're going to go from each side towards the center. And when you're done, you should have gyoza that look like that. And just keep working through all of them. Got some oil heating on the stove, just a little bit, bottom layer. What we're going to do is put these in there, give them a nice sear on the bottom, and then add a little bit of water, cover them, and let them steam the rest of the way until they're done. We just got to the point where all of the water had naturally been absorbed there. So we're going to take the lid off, and we'll get these guys out of here. Crispy, crunchity. Don't those look good? We're going to make some onpan, which is a milk bun. We're creating a water and flour slurry using warm water and get it nice and mixed together and then let it cool. While it cools, we're also going to put our yeast into that slurry. We're going to measure out the rest of our dry ingredients directly into our mixing bowl. So we have flour and sugar and a little bit of salt. We're going to add some milk and some eggs. Mix together all of these liquids. Put this on slow and begin pouring our liquids into our dries. We'll run this on low just until all the flour comes off the walls and combines with it, and then we'll run it on high. Flour is mostly incorporated, so we're going to turn this up higher. Now that everything's off the sides and it's all come together, we're going to start adding in our butter. So that's going to go on the hook for probably 5 to 10 minutes till we don't see any of the full pieces of butter in there anymore. And I'm not seeing any of the butter there in the dough any longer, so I'm going to take this out. In this mixing bowl, we're going to put a little canola oil. Make sure that the dough is well coated in the oil. We'll cover this with a tea towel and let it proof for 40 minutes at room temperature until it's doubled in size. Now the red bean stuffing is something you can buy directly at a store, but you can also make your own. I found this sweetened red beans. We just want it as more of a paste. So I'm gonna heat it up, mash it together, and taste it as well. Turn that off, let it cool down. Our onpan dough has definitely doubled in size. So what we're gonna do now, break it apart into equal sized balls. Equal sized balls, we're just gonna let those rest for about 10 minutes to cover them up again. Now we are going to form our buns. Take a scoop of our red bean, stuff it inside the bun, seal it shut, roll it into a ball, and put it on our parchment paper. Cover them another 45 minutes. Our oven is preheating to 390 degrees, giving them a little egg wash. We're also going to identify them with some toppings on top. All right, and we'll pop those in the oven. It's been 17 minutes. They look so beautiful.